everyone. Welcome back to Susan Dawn Spiritual Connections. Love is in the air. Magic is in the air. Happy February, everybody. So we're doing a very special reading in honor of Valentine's Day, in honor of this love, in honor of February. Remember that love is not just beholden to a specific day or holiday. Remember too that love is not just about relationships and connections. It's also the love that you have within yourself. And the love within yourself is the greatest love of all. It is the most powerful love of all that then ripples out to affect all of our connections and all of our relationships. And remember too that romance is an energy that just expresses love. It's just an expression of the love that we share with ourselves and with others. And so don't put pressure on yourself. Just enjoy the love that is in the air, the love that is in the universe, the love that is within yourself. We're doing this special reading because we have our February Fundraiser Reading Special launching this week. And that is called the Heart to Heart Reading Special. This is all about your connection with or relationship with another person, or even you can get the reading for your own journey and the love within yourself. So either or, if you're looking for more self-love and more guidance for your own personal path, or if you're looking for guidance for your connection and clarity with regards to your connection relationship, then this fundraiser reading special is for you. All the details, including who this fundraiser is going to be benefiting, is in our community connections section of our website. You can find it at susandonspiritual.com/fundraiser, or you can navigate through the community connections section right on our website. Speaking of, really quick announcements that you're going to want to hear. To make it really easy to find all of the programs and communities and memberships and resources and programs and services and free offerings that we offer here, I've created a new section directly on the top navigation part of our website called Start Here. So if you click on that button, you can choose what you're looking for and find everything that we have to offer, from our freebies, which are a ton of freebies, to our community, to our learning portals and programs, to personalized support, to really deep breakthroughs and transformations. Everything is there for you to take a look at. And if you have any questions at all with regards to how I can help support your journey, feel free to reach out to me. Let me know what you're experiencing, and I'll help you navigate everything that we have to offer. We have so many resources, and I realize that because we have so many resources and programs and services, that it might get a little bit confusing. And so I wanted it to be really clear what we offer, where it is, and how to navigate it. And if you have any questions, again, I will be more than happy to help you kind of figure out what is the best path for you. The other thing I want to mention is the Persephone's Garden guided meditation has been remastered and is now available in our Ascension Connections Sacred Membership. So if you belong to any of our 3 levels of that sacred membership, that has been plopped into the meditations and transmission section of your portal. That was part of our Sacred Circle community, part of the live stream. It was extremely powerful. We're going to be channeling more with Persephone, but you can check out the highlights for free. The link is below, or you can find it in our playlist. If you would like to watch the full live stream or get access to the past live streams that we've done, or the past guided meditations that have been part of the Sacred Circle community, please do make sure that you're joining and join to become part of the Sacred Circle for next month as well. I really hope to see you there. Okay, let's get into it. This is going to be a special kind of love connection. We're going to focus on the love aspect of it. I am feeling it. I don't know if you guys are too. It just feels like there is a lot of warmth in the connections right now. It feels like there's a lot of love in the connections right now, energetically. Please, I want to put a disclaimer here. Remember that this is a soul connection. And so I don't want you to place expectations on yourself or expectations even on your counterpart, especially around this holiday. This holiday tends to get people ramped up in that there's a lot of expectations. Tune into yourself and create that within yourself. Create that love within yourself. Nurture that love within yourself, within your own reality, because that's how you literally create within your external world, by nurturing your inner world. That's what we work on with my personal clients, with my mentoring clients, is really nurturing that connection within yourself without putting pressure on anything outside. And that's how we create. That's how we manifest. When we place expectations, especially with the onus of a holiday kind of ramped up into that, especially around something like love, then it can lead to disappointment. It can lead to friction. It could lead to more triggers, right? And we don't want to put ourselves in that position. Those are the cycles that we're healing. That's the karma that we're clearing, where we're not getting ourselves caught up in all of that drama. We're not getting caught up in all that chaos. Love is meant to be expressed. Love is meant to flow. Love is meant to be experienced, but it's not meant to be fixated on one day or on one holiday or one situation. Remember, love is always everywhere and around everything. And so please don't get fixated just because it's February and just because it's Valentine's Day. Find ways in which you can love and honor and nurture yourself and tune into the connection that is within your heart, that is always within your heart. And if you are in physical communication, of course, or relationship with a counterpart or a sacred partner, then obviously, express yourself in the way that you want to express yourself. Be open to receiving that expression too. But especially for those who might not be in communication, or who might be in no contact, or who might be in that perceived separation, don't continue perpetuating separation by getting caught up in that old cycle. Don't get caught up in disappointment. Don't get caught up in creating expectations and wrapping yourself in that lack energy. We've talked a lot over the past couple of months about switching from lack and scarcity to that abundance energy and abundance of love and nurturing that connection within yourself. So I would encourage you to really check out the playlist of our past Sacred Union Energy updates over the past couple of months to really empower yourself to recognize that love is always around you, always within you, and especially when it comes to this connection, there is no lack there. Don't focus on what you're seeing in the physical as the be all end all. Don't focus on the evidence. Don't look for evidence in the physical as far as whether or not this connection is progressing. It is an energetic connection, first and foremost, and you nurture that within yourself. So tune into the love that is there, that has always been there. Nurture that within yourself. And in your physical reality, take care of yourself, honor yourself. I used to buy myself flowers, write letters to your counterpart. If you're feeling like you're missing them, do something good for yourself. Take yourself out to dinner, or do something that you've always wanted to do. Buy yourself those chocolates, like whatever it is that you feel like you're lacking. Allow yourself to give it to yourself, and also allow yourself to receive it from others. Don't be so fixated on one outcome, because that is when you close yourself off. That's when you guard your heart. And that's when the universe is saying you really close yourself off from the universe itself and what the universe is trying to bring you and how it's trying to surprise you. Because again, love is infinite, love is everywhere. And love also is very multifaceted. So it's not just fixated on one person, one individual, or one connection. It is everywhere. And the more you tune into that infinite energy, the more the universe responds to that. And the more you're creating and empowering that within yourself, tuning into the energy within yourself, the more you see that reflected in your physical world. Don't block yourself off. Don't guard yourself against what is meant for you and what is trying to come in. Don't close yourself off. Okay? All right, so we're doing a little bit of a different reading today. This is going to be more of what the heart-to-heart reading is going to look like. So let's take a look with the romance angels and see what is it that we need to know with regards to these connections. Religious factors, that is my ascension card. Higher level of awakening, it's just what I keep getting. Wow. Yeah, this is definitely the masculine energy that I feel is coming through. This could be your inner masculine too. Remember that we take it for both engagement and heart-to-heart conversations. I feel like your connection is ascending. And again, remember, don't focus on whether or not you see that in the physical as a barometer for whether or not you're in union. Union is something that you anchor within yourself, and the physical reality has a little bit of a lag time. You're not going to see it instantaneously. There's a process of transformation that takes place. Look at your own journey of growth, right? You would experience a consciousness shift, a mindset shift, a belief shift. And sometimes it's instantaneous, but sometimes, depending on where that belief came from, or how lodged that belief was in there, how deep that belief went. Sometimes it takes some time in order to really embody that. And when you're embodying the energy, that's when you begin to see it shift in the physical world. It's all about the embodiment. We can know something intellectually, but it's the embodiment that really creates that energy shift, right? And so it sometimes the physical reality has a bit of a lag time. And so here I feel like there is a transformation and a growth that is happening within the connection. And it's because of both of you. I know I said the masculine energy, and that's really what I'm getting from this ascension energy is I really feel like the masculine is stepping up. I feel like the masculine is recognizing their own self-worth, recognizing their and going through their own self-development process, which in and of itself is an ascension process, right? It's self-development, personal development, look at oneself, looking at your beliefs. So that's all part of the ascension process. I feel like it's very masculine oriented, but that's also a result of you. So, feminines, the more that you are shifting your beliefs, your mindsets, moving from that lack and scarcity to one of love is everywhere, love is within me, I am love. And so I'm not lacking just because my counterpart isn't communicating or communicating in the way that I want or whatever is going on. You know, there could be ghosting, there could be separation, there could be in and out energy, whatever, there could be no contact, whatever the situation is. Remember that you are not beholden to that pattern. You can shift that pattern at any time by shifting your beliefs. What is it showing you? That is the key to your shifting. That is the key to your connection. What is it showing you about yourself? Your counterpart is going to be the ultimate catalyst for you. Your counterpart is going to be the ultimate mirror catalyzing you to doing that inner work. We know that. We know that from our ascension journey. We know that from these many years of doing this. If you're new here or if you're just at the beginning of your journey, I would recommend my book, The Unity Code, or take a look at all of our channelings on our playlist. You can explore them. You can explore the free resources in our Ascension Connections library. Again, check out the Start Here button on our website, susandonspiritual.com, or simply email me and I'll help you navigate the resources that we have available to help you break through, to help you transform this. Because once you really harmonize the polarities of your masculine and feminine energies, once you realize that you're not lacking anything, once you pull away from looking at the external and you've discovered that truly everything is within, that's when you anchor in your inner union. And that's when you begin to see that play out in your physical world. And that can play out not just with connection, but you can see that play out with family dynamics healing. You have healing family issues here. You can see that play out with regards to your finances. You can see that play out with regards to your service or mission work. You can see that play out with regards to your purpose, your hobbies, your passions. You're in alignment. And the world reflects that alignment then. So it's not just your relationship. Your relationship is like the cherry on top. Your relationship, I'm actually hearing your relationship is the last thing with your counterpart that might come into alignment because you will still be working through all these other things. You'll be still healing through all these other things, growing through all these other things. And so it's not to say that your relationship or connection with your counterpart coming into alignment is far off, but it's to say that there's still growth that happens when it comes to family connection. There's still growth that happens when it comes to your work. I do a lot of healing and work around my own business because I have a lot of beliefs around my business. And so that working with my business, that has actually been a huge catalyst for me with regards to my own personal growth, with regards to my own embodiment. My business has been that reflection for me. And so it's not just your counterpart that's going to be a reflection. It's how's your relationship with money? How's your relationship with others? How's especially your relationship with yourself? Coming back to this, so feminines, the more that you are embodying this energy, the more your counterpart is going to feel that. And remember, you don't need physical communication with your counterpart. That's just the ego. That's just the fear, the where you're not tapping into that bridge of the heart as we've channeled in the past. You're not tapping into the soul of the connection. You're focused again on the physical, but the physical, the external, that's old energy. That's stagnant energy. You're creating from within you. And so the more that you are nurturing the connection within, the more that you are feeling into that love and that warmth and that unconditional love that truly exists between you and your counterpart and will always exist between you and your counterpart, the more that's having an impact on the connection. And you might not be able to see it. I'm seeing the moon card in my mind. Not everything will be revealed to you right up front. You might not be able to see it, but that's where you have to trust your intuition. And it might also look counterintuitive to what you're seeing in your physical world. But that doesn't mean to rely solely on the external for validation or the external for evidence for where you are. You have to begin to really trust and embody that trust in yourself, in your intuition. The Mystic and the Muse is my new Substack. It's my new blog home for both my personal and author writing as well as my spiritual writings. And I did a new twin flame article on it called Trusting What I Know, I think it is. Beyond Perception and Doubt. The Twin Flame Journey Beyond Perception and Doubt. I think that's what it's called. What that was all about was my own experiences with regards to perception, my own experiences with regards to doubting this connection. You're going to have doubt along this connection. That's part of the process of your ascension. That's part of the process of your sacred union. Doubt is a huge thing that we overcome on this journey. But doubt is actually an opportunity to show you where you need to trust yourself more and where you need to trust in your intuition more, and that you can trust in your intuition more. There are so many people or experiences that we will have who might have different perceptions of your journey, of your connection, of your sacred partner. At the end of the day, you have to trust yourself and your experiences. You have to trust your inner knowing. That is one of the core tenets that we teach here. Trusting your inner knowing, trusting your intuition, and honing that intuition. Beyond the doubt, beyond the uncertainty, beyond the judgment, beyond other people's perceptions. It's about trusting your intuition. And again, it might look counterintuitive to what you're experiencing, but our ascension journey shows us that we have the capability to hold space for multiple realities. And just because the external reality is not playing out yet, it doesn't mean that your inner reality and what you're intuiting, your inner knowing, it doesn't mean that's not real. It does not mean that's not real. It doesn't mean that the love is not real. It doesn't mean that the love is not real just because you're seeing it play out in a certain way. That has been one of the core triggers along this journey for so many of us. For myself, I know I went through that too, where you doubt the love, you doubt what you're experiencing because maybe your counterpart is saying something or your counterpart is doing something that is so counterintuitive to what you're feeling within you. But again, now you have the ability, the capability, the capacity to hold both energies, to have the awareness and the knowing that this is how it's playing out in my reality, and knowing that that's not all there is, that there is also your truth, that there's also the love that you're feeling within you, and that is real too. It might be playing out one way, but you can trust in your inner knowing too. Two realities can coexist. That is our ascension. And we're seeing that play out globally too, right? Where it looks like there's so many different realities playing out. And it's very confusing. It's kind of a mindfuck. But that's where, again, we have to pull back from what we're seeing in the physical and tune in within. That's where they've been saying with regards to the ascension energies and with regards to our global collective awakening to pull back and make your circle smaller. Don't get caught up in everything that you're seeing on the outside. That's not all there is. There's more happening beneath the surface. There's more than meets the eye. Your job is to keep honing in and tuning in to your inner knowing. So let's get back to the reading. There is an awakening and ascension that is happening here. And this has been a process that has been happening for the past couple months, for the past year even, for this divine masculine. That's what I'm feeling. I feel it's really divine masculine and divine feminine. Again, you're kind of guiding this through your own ascension journey, but this feels very focused on the masculine. I feel like there is a desire to heal. There's a desire to build bridges. There's a desire to mend, especially with this healing family issues. Your love life benefits as you forgive your parents. This could be with regards to ancestral healing. This could be something with regards to breaking generational curses. And you do that by your own healing. You are naturally breaking generations of karmic cycles through your own healing. If you're interested in that, we just did a workshop and we have the workshop replay available called Clearing the Karma. And really powerful. We talked about all sorts of different karma and how that plays out, especially in families. This could also relate to anything that is connected to family. This could be parents, this could be children, this could be siblings, this could be soul family. There is a great healing that is happening. So take it as it's resonating for you. Again, this is a collective reading, so it's going to apply in a different way to everybody. But there is a desire for a coming together. I'm also getting with that soul family is there is a desire for more soul family. And this could even be part of why there's a desire to heal whatever relationships are in this masculine's life. So if this is a family member, or this is friendships, or this is partners or children, or whatever this is, there is a desire for more soul family to come through. There's a softening of the heart is what I'm getting. There's a softening of the energy here. This masculine feels like they very much have their guard up for maybe most of their life. Maybe necessarily is what I'm hearing. But as they heal, as you heal, remember everything around you shifts and everything around you begins to heal. And some relationships you will find fade away. And some relationships you'll find shift in dynamics. I've seen that with my own eyes, and it's incredible. Your energy will naturally have a ripple effect on everything and everyone around you. Naturally. I've seen that within my own family, and my own family has been pretty close, but we have our dysfunction. So healing that dysfunction, I can see that as I have better boundaries, as I learn to stop people pleasing, recovering people pleaser here, as I learn to not sacrifice myself or overgive, as I learn to speak up and express myself, I'm seeing the dynamics with family members shift in much more positive ways. And it's not always going to look pretty on the surface or at the start, because if you begin to have boundaries, there's going to be pushback, because especially family members who you have known, they are your most intimate connections, especially those you have, grown up with. They've seen you through many different cycles and many different versions. For example, my family, they still see a version of me that maybe existed when I was a child. And you can't help that, right? But you can still be the empowered version of you. You can still embody the version of you that you have become. And there might be some pushback because they're still seeing an old version. But that's where healing takes place. This feels like a progression. So as they're going through this awakening, and I'm going to say it as both of you. I feel like this is both of you. It is more geared towards the masculine, but I do want to connect this to both of you because there is no separation. As your masculine heals, you heal. As you heal, your masculine heals. I don't want you to create that separation within you, right? So as this ascension process is continuing, there is healing that is taking place. Mending of the rifts, building of the bridges. And as that's happening, there is more engagement, so more communication, more understanding, more compassion that's being felt. There might be a desire to communicate. There might be actual physical communication. You might be experiencing that in dream state. You might be experiencing that telepathically. You might feel your counterpart. You might feel that love coming in. You might feel that softening of the energy. You might feel that transformation. But this is a higher level of engagement for a higher level of connection. And that's where this, again, heart-to-heart conversations is coming through. You might experience this in a number of different ways. There's a higher level of connection, which is picking up on, or which is going to produce a different level of communication than you've had in the past. In the past, when you were first going through your ascension journey, you might have been triggering each other, you might have been having trouble connecting with each other, even though you understood each other and saw each other in a way that nobody ever has. and truly in a way that nobody ever will, because you are that one soul, and that's where you are that divine mirror. So you might have seen each other, you might have connected with each other, you were truly speaking each other's soul language. You were truly speaking the language of the heart with each other. And so, as your egos and as your humans kind of got into it, the communication might have plummeted. It might have shifted. It might have changed. Declined is the word that I'm looking for. And so, it's because you are not communicating from your conscious self, but you were going through an ascension journey. There's a lot to be learned. You had a lot of consciousness shifts to experience. You're not who you were. And that's where I always say, forgive and have compassion for that past version of yourself. You didn't know what you didn't know. And now that you're more conscious, you know how to communicate consciously. You know how to express yourself consciously. You know how to operate in this kind of connection, where before you might have been trying to put this connection in the old box and within an old blueprint of what relationship was or used to be. But again, this is a soul connection. This is a different kind of connection. It doesn't operate in the same paradigms as other relationships might have, as other family dynamics or other romantic relationships or other crushes or friendships or whatever operated in. This is a different level of connecting. It's connecting from the heart. It's connecting from the soul. It's seeing each other truly without the masks. And it's tearing down anything that is not authentic, that is not the soul. It's getting you back to the heart, getting you back to the root of each other. And so through your ascension, you become more conscious of yourself. You become more conscious of your partner. You become more conscious of your union and your connection. And so you'll communicate more consciously. That's what this feels like. This feels like that higher level of connection leading to higher level of engaging with each other, which is that heart-to-heart conversation, heart-to-heart communication, where there's honesty, radical honesty, where you're not afraid to communicate how you feel. Because again, it's coming from the soul, so you're not holding back. You're not communicating defensively. You're not communicating in attack mode. You're not communicating in a way that you might have in the past. You're communicating consciously, and anytime there is a disharmony, you move through the process and come back to harmony and repair in a much more conscious way. And that's what the higher heart ascension teaches us. It teaches us about consciously connecting, and that includes communication. And so when you communicate now, it's heart-centered, not from the ego, not from the pain, not from the trauma, not from past patterns repeating itself. That's what you've worked on through your ascension journey, and you will continue to work through that. That's not to say that you won't trigger each other, but you're more mindful now. You're more aware of each other. You're more conscious of each other. And you're more conscious of this journey, which means to say you can consciously communicate and say, hey, this triggered me. Let's work through this. Hey, this triggered me. This is something that I need to process. Hey, this hurt me, and here's why. And working through that together, repairing together, coming back to harmony together, and always, always, always coming back to love. That's what conscious connections are all about. I feel like that's where this connection is heading. And I feel like especially for the masculine, that is what they're becoming much more aware of on this ascension journey. They're becoming much more aware of themselves, and this is the healing process that they've been going through. And this is the progression that is coming as a result of that. Bottom of the deck you have, this could be the one. This could be the one. This, your sacred partner. All right, let's see. Let's use some tarot. Let's get into how are they feeling about you in the mind space. What's going on, especially for the masculine, especially since the majority of you might be feminines. Again, you can reverse the roles. You can take this for your inner masculine, but this is a very special reading that we're doing. It's not our typical divine masculine, divine feminine reading. So let's see what's going on for the masculine. Two of Cups. Yeah, they're definitely thinking about you and thinking about this connection and feeling this connection. This is anchored in their heart is what I'm hearing. What the heck am I hearing? Two of Hearts. What is the song? Okay, I'm hearing the song, Two of Hearts, I Need You, I Need You. Let me figure out what this is. Okay, this is a song by Stacy Q, 1986. So, no wonder my 80s love and music heart is picking up on it. Um, it's Two of Hearts, and it literally goes, I need you, I need you. When we're together, it's like hot coals in a fire. Two of Hearts, two hearts that beat as one. Interesting. So that song might actually relate to you and your connection. I'm not quite sure why I'm picking up on that. This is interesting. I've got this feeling that you're going to stay. I never knew that it could happen this way. Before I met you, I was falling apart, but now at last I really know what we are. What I'm picking up on is I feel like in twin flame sacred partner connections especially, we experience that runner chaser dynamic, right? There could be ghosting, it could be lack of communication, it could be in and out, hot and cold. We experience the full gamut of this, right? My gosh, when I think back on what I experienced with my counterpart, it feels like a lifetime ago. That feels like a different person, like I was a different person. It just feels like it was so long ago, and so far removed from truly who I am now and what my journey has become. But when we're in those cycles, we have abandonment wounds, rejection wounds, neglect wounds that are acting up. And that's what perpetuates, because we have those beliefs playing out subconsciously, it perpetuates that fear, and we play out that fear in the physical. Well, the more that we shift those beliefs and the more that we embody that higher energy, the more we see those cycles ending. And that's what this feels like. What was those lyrics again? Before I met you, I was falling apart, but now at last I really know that we are, or what we are is what I'm getting. It's like I feel like this masculine is recognizing you. I feel like this masculine is recognizing this connection. I feel like this masculine, there's a little bit of shame that's lingering over maybe how they treated this connection. Maybe they didn't recognize this connection and so they treated it. Maybe there was disrespect. Maybe there was that hot and cold ghosting. Maybe there was not that, maybe there was in and out energy. Maybe there wasn't that full commitment, a lack of commitment. However this played out, maybe there was third parties involved. However this played out, I feel like they weren't able to truly give to this connection because they weren't fully recognizing of it. They felt it on the soul level, but there was a fear that clicked in within their mind space. This happens for all of us. When we experience unconditional love, it is so foreign to us that we can't even believe that it actually exists. We all want it to exist, but in our human world, we haven't truly experienced that. Not truly. Maybe with an animal, maybe with a child, maybe in certain respects. But when it comes to a sacred other, especially with regards to intimate romantic relationships, there's always somehow a condition or strings involved or an expectation. And that comes from society's programming, where we're programmed to expect something. We're programmed to these conditions. This ascension journey, the sacred union path of ascension, shows us what it is to love without conditions, to love without expectations. It's the bird that gently rests within the hand, full of trust, knowing that it can fly away, knowing that it can return. And that's not to say that that bird, so to speak, is not committed. We're not talking about non-monogamy here. We're not talking about non-commitment here. But we're talking about freedom to love, freedom to be yourself. That you can be yourself. You can be your authentic self and still be loved. That's what this connection is. This connection is freedom in love. And in that freedom of love, you are devoted to each other, you are loyal to each other, you are committed to each other. The masculine do their own fears and worthiness issues, which was reflecting you, Divine Feminine. You had to go through this process of healing too. They pushed this connection away, and you chased after it. And the pattern that you had to break, Divine Feminines, was the chasing. You had to stop that chasing and stop fixating on your counterpart, because you had to realize that your counterpart is part of you and always has been. That union is a part of you. It's not something external. That is what ends the chasing, where you are loving yourself as much as you love your counterpart, which is unbelievably so. You have to love yourself just that much more, just that much more. Because loving yourself is loving your counterpart, and loving your counterpart is loving yourself. It is one and the same. And your counterpart is just reflecting to you, just pointing out all those holes. When they're triggering you, they're just showing you all those holes that you need to plug with more love for yourself, not seeking externally for that validation, not seeking externally for that love or that approval. Plugging up all those holes so that you can love yourself more, and so that you can receive that love from your counterpart. I feel like this masculine holds shame for how they treated you and how they treated this connection. And I feel like that's the plug that they want to heal within themselves. They don't want to feel that shame anymore, because they don't want to treat this connection like that anymore. There's a recognition of how this is sacred. And there's a recognition, too, of the sacredness that you have always been and that you've always brought to their life, that you lit their life up. I didn't realize my life was falling apart, but then you came into it. And in some ways, it fell apart even more, right? There were tower moments. But what actually crumbled? What crumbled was any false foundation, any ego, any masks, anything that was inauthentic that the masculine was still holding on to. And that's what you saw right through Divine Feminine. And that's what made them run too. You saw right through them. You saw right through each other. You saw to the soul of them, the heart of them, the love of them. That's what you've always seen. And it can be very scary and vulnerable and raw to be seen in the way that you see each other. This masculine, through their own ascension and awakening, is seeing themselves. And as such, they're seeing you for who you truly are. You are that love. You are that light. You are their heart. Two of Hearts. I need you. I need you. It's not need in a way of, I need you to survive. It's not need in a way of, I'm reaching out for you to save me. But it's, I need you as in, you are a part of me. You are part of my heart. You are my heart. You're the other half of my soul. Even though it is not, as a saying, it's not that you're not whole within yourself. It's not that you're not whole without each other. Union is recognizing that you are always one, that you are always whole, that you're always in union, that you're never apart. It's that Jane Eyre quote. Is it Jane? No, it's Wuthering Heights. I can't think of it when I'm channeling, but it's the quote about the souls, two souls, his and mine are the same. That's this exactly. That's what they're beginning to realize. Beginning to realize they might not have the spiritual awareness or the words to describe it in such a way, but they're beginning to realize how much you meant to them, how much you mean to them. They're beginning to realize what you brought to their life, maybe how you changed their life. They're beginning to realize this because they're beginning to realize and accept themselves and realize the love within themselves. Let's see what else is going on. I'm getting two messages from this. It might have taken a walking away, either them or you, in order for this realization to take place. And that might have been a process in and of itself. But what was also happening during that walking away is you're walking away from old versions of this connection, old versions of yourself. This Eight of Cups feels like a process of self-discovery. It feels like the awakening. It feels like the ascension journey. A process of self-discovery where you're walking away from an old version of yourself, where you keep replaying patterns and loops within your mind, where you keep telling yourself a story about who you are, or maybe telling yourself a story about love, or telling yourself a story about relationships, about commitment, right? It's a walking away from that. It's a shifting of beliefs. It's a letting go of that old version of yourself so that you can become who you truly want to be. It's almost like walking towards the Two of Cups and leaving any of that old fear behind. Fear of commitment, fear of love, fear of self-love, which is all tied together. Because what comes after the Eight of Cups? It's the Nine of Cups, which is self-recognition and fulfillment and happiness. And then the Ten of Cups, which is partnership and family and harmony and all sorts of everything you've ever wanted, right? Ace of Cups just fell out. So this feels like a process of discovery where this person, this masculine, could be you too, but you're walking away from an old version of yourself, this connection, the way this connection played out, in order to bring more harmony back in order to bring the love back in, because you're finally recognizing the love that has always been there, but maybe it was just buried. Maybe you just weren't able to recognize it. Tell me more. And the Star, pure happiness, pure wish fulfillment. I feel like this counterpart, if you're not in communication, or if there was something that happened in your connection, I feel like this counterpart, there might have been a distance. This could be physically or emotionally. I feel like this counterpart wants a second chance. I feel like that's what they're moving towards, walking away from the emptiness within themselves and to that fulfillment, to that happiness. They want a second chance. They want to rebuild. They are beginning to believe in their own happily ever, or at the very least, they want to learn how to begin creating that happily ever after. They might have not always believed in happily ever after. It's such a phrase, isn't it? What that really means is just manifest the life that they want, to create the life that they want, and the version of themselves they want to be. That's all that is. That's all happily ever after is believing that you can live the life that you want and be the person that you want to become. So I feel like that's what this is with the Star card here. Let's see what's going on in the heart space. Interesting that this is all in the mind space, because remember I said we started this channeling with, it's very like a warm kind of energy that's coming through, a softening that's coming through. That's happening within the mind space, where the mind is like a wall. The ego is like an impenetrable wall. It takes a lot to break through the ego, right? But that's what your ascension journey does. It recognizes, it makes the ego recognize that it doesn't have to play out survival patterns anymore. It doesn't have to play out all those repeating cycles, that you can shift your beliefs about yourself. And that happens within the heart space. That happens within the soul. You're connecting more with the soul than with the ego. That you're not your thoughts, you're not your beliefs. You can shift those beliefs. Who do you want to be? What kind of life do you want to live? That's what this is all about in the mind space. So let's see what's going on in the heart space. Goodness gracious. Page of Pentacles. I'm getting this energy of, okay, I got the word gift. It might be something tangible, as far as they want to bring in something tangible. They want to offer you something tangible. It could be a gift. For example, if you're in connection, it could be something like a Valentine's gift. Again, I don't want you to hold on to the expectation. I know how with tarot readings we like to cling to stuff. For some of you, that might be for some of you. For others, it could be a gift as far as recognition, acknowledgement, that kind of thing. The other energy that I'm getting from this Page of Pentacles is this feels like I'm getting the word idea. Like there's a new idea of how they want to approach this connection, in a way that maybe they approached this connection in a way that definitely didn't work in the past, in an unconscious way, in an unhealthy way. There's a new idea for how they want to approach this connection, and that could be a gift in and of itself, right? Approaching this connection with more healthy ways, more communication, approaching this connection in a much more tangible form, especially if this connection has been very energetically driven. So it's going to make sense to you in a number of different ways. Let's see what else we're getting from the heart space. Tell me more about this Page of Pentacles and the heart space. We have the two, okay, we have the Two of Swords. I'm getting where they were indecisive, now there's clarity. Now they want a new beginning. They want to bring it to you in a new way. There's this Page of Pentacles feels very decisive, where they were indecisive in the past, going back and forth and back and forth. That's part of what they're walking away from. That's part of their quieting their mind, quieting their ego. That's part of their ascension and awakening. And that's part of also what they're healing with regards to the shame and how they treated this connection in the past. Because part of that shame, again, the in and out, the hot and cold, was coming from indecisiveness. And that indecisiveness was coming from fear. And remember, conscious masculine, the sacred masculine, the divine masculine is one that is decisive. They are the leader, right? They are the director of their destiny. They're consistent, they're stable, they're secure. So they're decisive in that manner. And so I feel like that's part of like maybe even the gift that they're bringing to this connection is making a decision, deciding which direction. What else is, yeah, deciding on love. Ace of Cups. And we have this Eight of Wands could indicate travel with regards to seeing each other, or it could indicate communication. Regardless of that, I do feel like it is movement. And we've been picking up on more movement, more momentum, especially coming in. I really feel March is what I'm getting. I feel like there is going to be momentum and movement coming in through March. And we're going to start feeling that now, but it's going to continue to pick up. Actually, I already began channeling that in January, but it's going to be picking up. This is seasons of unions. And bottom of the deck here, we have Temperance, which is a union energy, because what you're doing is you're balancing the energies. There's Temperance is also an energy of healing, of growth, of merging, of soul merge too, is also what I'm getting. So, deciding on love, making that decision. For some, it could actually even be go all in, to go all in. To put their fear aside and just trust in the love that they're feeling and the trust that they've always felt within this connection. Again, that could be you. I'm talking about the masculine because it's kind of feeling that, but that could be you as well. Okay. What's going on for the action space? Potential action space. Potential action space. Yeah, that's some of that shame that's still being felt. So I feel like in the 3D right now, there is still some of that process that is happening. Some of that awakening ascension process, that healing process that's happening. Again, this is process. This is progression. And so this is all headspace, heart space is all higher self stuff. That's being worked on energetically. In the physical, I feel like there's still some shame that is being worked through. But look at those two cups that are standing. Those two cups are there. Those two cups are still there. Tell me what's going on. Yep, the Lovers. Making a choice. Making that decision. Deciding on love. Working through the shame so that you can be very clear about love and make that decision from the heart space. Make that choice to love. To go all in. To open your heart and offer that cup of love. That's this energy here. I'm also getting you are being divinely directed. There is a lot of spiritual support for this connection, for this union. The Nine of Cups. Yep, Eight of Cups to the Nine of Cups. This energy actually feels a little bit self-indulgent. So there might be a little bit of withdrawn energy in the physical. That's why I was saying don't hold on to expectations with regards to communication. This is where it's heading. It is heading to communication. It is heading to higher levels of engaging with each other, to meeting, to communicating, to conversations and heart-centered conversations, soul-centered conversations, more conscious communication. So it is leading in that direction, but right now it feels like there might be a little bit of a self-indulgent energy. It could be for you too, where you might be in hermit mode, you might be a little bit withdrawn, you might be working on whatever you're working on and processing, but recognize too that that's going to benefit the whole. So if this is a masculine we're speaking of, there's a little bit of shame, a little bit of regret that they're still working through. There's still healing that's happening as they're connecting deeper and deeper to love. Again, I want to emphasize, whatever, if this is you or their energy or both, the separation, I call it integration time with my clients because that's all it is. Separation is actually a good thing. Look how much you grow through that separation. Look how much you learn about yourself and embody because you're integrating that energy. What happens is if you're constantly with each other, the energy between twin flames in the unconscious, in the unhealed version, in that lower level energy, it's so much, it's too much. And so you trigger each other. And if you're not conscious, if you're not both conscious and working and growing together, then that is going to ping pong. The reflection is just going to go back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. And you have to pull yourself out of that cycle. And that's where separation is healthy, because you have time to integrate and learn and grow and heal. So don't look at separation as a negative thing. Look at it as a time to grow, to heal, to process, so that when you come together and you communicate, it can be in a much more conscious way. Okay? So a little bit self-indulgent, but that ultimately is going to lead to what? The 10 of Cups. Right? You're doing this processing, you're walking away from the old versions of your connection, old versions of how you view things, how you viewed yourself, old versions of beliefs, and you are just going through this process of healing, and that's going to lead to 2 of Cups, 10 of Cups, Star. It's all the part of the process of healing. It's all part of the process. All right. Let's get some what's challenging the connection right now? What's challenging the connection right now? What's challenging the connection right now? Time is an illusion, yeah. Holding on to expectations. If you're still holding on to expectations, if you're still putting a linear time frame on it, if you're saying, oh, it hasn't happened, so it's never going to happen, or it's not happening within my time frame that I want it to happen, you're putting an expectation on it, you're putting a condition on it, and you're just blocking yourself, right? That's a belief that you have. I call it the time wound. And the time wound can play out. You can read about it in the Unity Code. The time wound can play out in where there's a regret about the past, that you didn't have enough time together in the past, or that you just met and you went your whole life, kind of without each other, which is a false illusion, because remember, you're always in union. You might not have seen each other in the physical, but you're always connected. You're always connected. You're always in union. It's just when you're activated to the journey that you're aware of it. And that could be past lifetimes too, right? Or it could be the time wound can be something about the future. Like it's not playing out the way, it's not present. It's not happening in the present. So you're getting too far ahead of yourself and saying, what if this doesn't happen? What if this happens? What if this happens this way? Like all the what ifs about the future. You're getting yourself caught up in potentials. That's a time wound itself, but that's an illusion itself. Bring yourself back to the present. Bring yourself back to the heart space. That's where you connect. That's where the love always is. It's always present. That's where union always is. Your union is always present within you. Time is an illusion. Give it up to the divine. You shift your physical reality by shifting your energy. And that's what I work through with my clients in our memberships and in our personal coaching. So if you're interested in any of that, just feel free to reach out to me. But that's what it's about. You shift your physical reality by shifting your energy and your beliefs. What are the blessings that are happening right now? Too many, I just want one. I just want one. Thank you. Nothing has gone wrong. Keep the faith. Yeah. Nothing has gone wrong. That's a blessing. Nothing has gone wrong. What you think is wrong or has gone wrong, that's a belief, right? That's an illusion. You can break free from that by shifting your perspective, shifting your belief, by tuning into the heart. Yeah. Bottom of the deck, don't self-sabotage. Bottom of that deck is Meet Me on the Bridge. We channeled Meet Me on the Bridge of the Heart. That's exactly what this is. Meet on the Bridge of the Heart. All right, we're going to end with I think a message. I haven't used these cards in forever. This is my Conversations with Counterparts deck. Gosh, I haven't used these I haven't done a reading like this in forever. Let me know in the comments how you like this. All right, what does your counterpart want to say to you? What does your counterpart want to say to you? I'm struggling to share my heart. Yeah, that's part of the unfolding. Like there's a warmth that's coming through, a softening that's coming through. They're feeling the feels, but there's still some of that shame that's coming through. They're still working through some of that wounding, still healing, still going through their process. So that's where there might be some of that self-indulgent energy. That's the only word I know to use. It's more of like they might still be a little bit withdrawn. They might not be communicating fully, or they might not be communicating at all. But it's because they're still working through this here. And what do you want your counterpart to know? I won't let my fears keep us apart. Yep. Don't let your fears block you. Don't let your fears hold you back from what you know in your intuition. Now, there needs to be a certain level of acceptance, a certain level of, okay, this is my physical reality, but you also tune into the heart space. I'm going to use my Written on the Heart deck as well, since it's February and Valentine's Day and all sorts of stuff. This is my more romancy deck. Let's see, what does your counterpart want you to know? We've traveled across lifetimes together, hand in hand. I do feel like there is an awareness of this love. There's an awareness of the depth of this connection. They might not have the words that you do, Divine Feminines, but they're aware on a soul level. They're aware of it on a soul level. You know, I was even looking back at old journals of me and my counterpart, and some of the things that he said, you know, he was aware. He might not have always known how to express it in a way that I could understand, that he was aware of it, but he was aware in some of the things that he said, of the depth of love, of the depth of soul connection that was being experienced. So they're aware. And Divine Feminine, or the person watching this, what do you want them to know? You're my heart, my home, my love. Beautiful. And I feel like this is between you two. Can you feel my love for you? Again, there is an energetic component that is very, the energy is very amped up right now, where you're definitely feeling each other. Just allow yourself to tune into the heart space and feel that love there. Just tune into that love and nurture the love that is there. All right, if you would like to book a reading just like this for February's Fundraiser Reading Special, go to susanddawnspiritual.com/fundraiser. There'll be a link in the description, and I am sending you all so much love and so much light, and we'll see you next time.